Hello and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son, Tim Hoey. Oh, we have another great show for you tonight. So, boys, let's get it started. We're going to start with the Boston Celtics, as we have seemingly for months. Celtics make a huge move. One of my favorite players in the NBA, who the Celtics could have gotten in the second round many years ago, is Malcolm Brogdon. And the Celtics, Brad Stevens, somehow is able to acquire him and not give up anyone in the playoff rotation. Brilliant move. I would ask you guys this first question. If Malcolm Brogdon was on the team in the finals, would the Celtics be the champions?
Oh, yeah.
You think so, Joe?
Oh, certainly. Marcus Smart was a no-show for two in the Miami and the Golden State series. He was invisible. He just couldn't play point guard against the big boys. That would have helped. That caused all the problems. Then Brown and Tatum had to try to dribble in to penetrate and probe the defense because they had no playmaker. Now they have someone who could do that. Let Malcolm do it.
Brogdon's I think Brogdon's a better player than Marcus Smart and D. White. Would you agree?
Probably, but Marcus has his strengths, and his strengths are off the ball. He can bring the ball up to half court, and then he can't play offense. He cannot play the other side of the court. Zero, nothing you're getting from him. So now you put him off the ball where he belongs.
Yeah, Marcus certainly has his limitations on offense. That's for sure.
It's not just his shooting; his playmaking is a zero.
Yeah, he doesn't have that. You know, we got a taste of Rondo, and we got to see what a real creative point guard can do, and that's just not part of Marcus's DNA. And there's a lot I love about Marcus Smart.
Oh yeah, lots of strengths. Keep Marlon off the ball. You know, someone's got to break down the defense, or someone's got to put a little chink in the armor so that the other guys can really start to play.
Yeah, they were begging Smart to shoot threes there, you know, and then when they're doing that breaks down a lot of the offense when, you know.
Oh yeah, when they double team each of the Jays and they left Marcus alone, they didn't even bother covering him.
Yeah, the Celtics can't move without us talking about Marcus Smart and how it relates to him and the team. But yeah, Malcolm Brogdon is a solid guy defensively. So they don't take a step back there. Right. And the guy can hit a key shot. He's a guy who he can give you 15 to 20 points in a game. That's something we needed as far as offense goes.
He's big like Marcus, too. What's he, 6'6"? He's a good size for a guy.
Yeah, Brad seems to have his prototype. He's not taking any, even though they took the Italian kid, I guess he's a little weak defensively, but he's 6'10", which right. You know, is good for something, you know. But I don't think if you don't have some defensive ability, I don't think Brad's interested in you these days.
Yeah, Gallinari's the kind of guy that if their offense isn't moving, they throw him in, hope the kid gets hot, can hit 3-4 3-pointers in a row, give them a spark.
And what I like about that guy, he's 6'10", so that's a tough 3-point shot to block.
Yeah, he's a big guy, right? He's going to get a shot off in the playoffs. So he's the kind of guy that maybe plays 5 to 7 minutes a game instead of
a good shooter who's 6'10". That's nice.
Yeah, he can help space the floor so that the Jays aren't driving into double and triple teams all the time.
Okay, does the Malcolm Brogdon move make Marcus Smart tradable?
I don't know if I want to trade him, Scotty. I think he brings something to the team. He's got a "you're going to have to kill me to beat me" attitude, and I like that attitude. You know, he never stopped. You know, he does have his limitations. Don't get me wrong. You know, everybody does.
But Timmy, is it a duplicate skill set? At some point, White.
Well, I don't know. He's the kind of guy. He's the kind of guy I want on my team, Scotty. We've seen him carry this team emotionally at times, you know, and we've also seen him do some damage at times too. there's some innate thing about Marcus Smart that attracts me to him being on this team.
Okay, Joe, if you
Yeah,
could get,
I really would like to keep him if we can, unless you knock my socks off.
okay,
I like
what is
having that
Sabonis?
someone who carries that attitude of diving on the floor. Keep that kind of culture on the team instead of letting them start to dance around out there.
You know,
If you
he's
could
like
get-
he's like the anti NBA prima donna. He's like, this guy's gonna take a bullet for the Celtics. It feels to me like he feels like a real Celtic. You know what I mean? And I like that.
But if you could get a Sabonis or a John Collins, would you pull the trigger on a Smart deal?
Now that we have Malcolm Brogdon, although he has injury concerns, I don't know. That's very intriguing.
Scotty, it's not just like his shooting ability that attracts me and things like that. I love his compete level is what I like. I just like it, and I think it spreads out to the other guys. I don't know.
Well,
That nasty attitude that flopping and faking and
Yeah,
he has to anything he can and anything he has to
You got it,
get
Joe.
in there.
Yeah.
well, a Brogdon deal. Would you agree?
Well, Scotty, we
Yeah,
know
put-
that you
put
just
Marcus
know,
Smart-
Scotty, that you are anti.
Oh yeah, that puts
Smart.
Marcus
No,
on the
No.
trade block for sure.
Look, Timmy and Joe said it a few weeks ago. It's a matter of can they win a championship with Marcus Smart running the show?
I don't think so. I think
no.
coming off the bench, I really like Marcus Smart.
And
That's what I
is his
like.
value?
Like stick him in there for like an uptick in intensity on defense, that type of thing. I think when you really got to click up the defense is when you want Marcus Smart in there. You kind of see the boys dragging their feet, maybe not playing up as hard as they could. I think that he's good for that.
Would you agree, guys, that Marcus Smart's value has never been higher than right now?
No, it was pretty high. Was it the year before Kyrie showed up here? Or maybe it was the year he was injured and we got to the Eastern Conference Finals. It was pretty freaking high. Do you remember after one series, one of the opponents said Marcus Smart won that series for Boston?
Yeah, there was Milwaukee in the bubble.
Yeah. His value was pretty high right there.
It was.
I don't think his value has ever been higher because you stop and think about it. It's very easy for another GM to sell their fan base on Marcus Smart. That the defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
When we get a guy traded to us, 9 times out of 10, coming out of the West, we don't even know if he plays like Grandpa Gordon. We never see those teams play. So, we just go by their press clippings. He's got some pretty good press clippings.
I think if you have a team that looks like they're just going through the motions, they're just showing up to get a paycheck, not really showing a lot of intensity, and you could throw Marcus Smart into that mix to ride the young guys on their defense and things like that. I think there's a lot of clubs that would really like a guy like that. I think he'd be very attractive.
Locker room infusion. Yeah, absolutely.
The practices, Scotty. They say he practices pretty freaking hard too,
All right, so is Brad done? He got Gallinari. He got Brogdon. Is he done?
No. He's got to fill in that roster. We'd all like to see someone Tice replace another, second, third string center. Horford's old, and Rob is very delicate.
Yeah.
I think you need someone more than Luke Cornett.
Yeah, that's what I worry about Brogdon with is his durability.
But that's why you kind of bought.
The report on him is he's not very durable. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I still have a feeling that either Grant or Pritchard are gone.
It's hard to remember. Grant is on the NBA Players Association Executive Committee. Those guys don't move real easy.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The value for Grant Williams has never been higher right now.
No question. When there was
you couldn't have got a bag of balls from Grant Williams halfway through the season, right?
Right. I think it's time to move on from Grant Williams. I don't know what his role is anymore.
He matches up great against some people, but unfortunately, about 70% of the league he cannot match up against.
What could you get?
Match up good against Giannis.
Could you get a late first round pick for Grant Williams?
No, you're not interested in picks. They're not. He's not. He likes to give them away.
They want roster spots.
Could you package something to get John Collins, who's always rumored to be traded 24/7, 365 days a year from the
Is his contract up though?
I don't know, but
I don't want to trade. John Collins, I like as a player. I just don't want to trade for someone whose contract's going to be up at the end of the year, and then you traded away a couple of guys for nothing.
Are we ready to give up on Pritchard? I mean, I think this kid is going to take about 5 million 3-pointers this summer, and I think he's shown some spunk,
Yeah, I just think he's too small, and he doesn't have the ability to get his shot off in big time playoff games.
And they don't like he was a defensive liability. He was like the one guy that would show out there all of a sudden. They would just go after him. When he was
I thought, like, when it got to playoff time, he was very much improved. He was showing a little Marcus Smart type thing, taking some dives, taking some charges, always sticking his nose in the rebound. I think there was maybe. And I think
Joe's microphone is a little
funky.
Joe,
what do you think of Pritchard, Scotty?
Check your microphone.
You sound a little down on Pritchard, Scott.
Yeah, I just again, I would actually have said that I think Aaron Nesmith's upside is greater than Pritchard, being that he has size and some more quickness and better defensively. I might have sent Pritchard out the door instead of Nesmith.
I think Pritchard. What I see in Pritchard is the ability. I could see him really becoming a deadly shooter in the next few years, like an assassin out there. That's just my opinion. I think he's got a nice stroke. I think. I don't know. I see something in the kid that I don't know what it is, but I could he seems to have this determination to really make something of himself. I don't know.
Well, they obviously picked up Jimmy, right, Joe? They picked Pritchard over Nesmith. They could have probably sent either of them out the door, right? Oh, we can't hear you, Joe. Can you hear us, Joe?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah. You give me a microphone a whack or something there, Joe. I think it needs a little adjustment.
Yeah, no, we want to get Uncle Joe in there. Let's see if his microphone. Yeah, it's going to be. Look, obviously, Brad Stevens. I think he is not done with making moves. Whether it's just adding or it's also subtracting, we'll see. But
Scotty, isn't it nice to see him doing it? Danny just sat on picks forever. We would have like 6 second-round picks and all these picks that in the NBA they mean nothing. What do you replace? 1 or 2 guys on the roster a year, And it's like the original 6 in hockey. You used to get 1 new player on the team every 3 years. It's so tough to crack an NBA lineup right now.
And they give him Trader Danny as a nickname, and then he stops trading.
Well, I know. You see what he's doing. He's doing a repeat.
Hold on, let Joe speak. Yeah. I just want.
He really pulled off a huge trade there with the Timberwolves.
Yeah,
he took them to the cleanest.
Oh my God, that was another KG deal.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That would be my comparison too. He really took it. He set them up for Utah now up for maybe not next year or the year after, but 3 years from now, they're a contender.
Absolutely, Joe. It reminded me exactly of the building process in Boston, which might be for the NBA. I think they're getting a little sick of this superstar match with superstar max contract guys. I think that a lot of people are probably looking at the Celtics and looking to build their programs in a similar fashion.
Yeah,
Another defensive player of the year that doesn't play on the offensive side of the court. You know, he's 3 times defensive player of the year. Great, but he only plays half the game.
I just don't think NBA general managers like first-round picks anymore, unless they're top 5 or maybe
Unless
top
they're lottery,
3.
yeah. Scotty, I agree.
They're all jumping on that Los Angeles Rams bandwagon.
Yeah, after 10, it really does, go to the G League and you're going to get pretty much the same,
Well, they just figure you guys draft them, and if they develop into the player they would want, we'll either get them or sign them. But we'll somehow get them, and we'll try to make an uber team. It's changed, and Brad Stevens has figured that out, and he could care less about first-round picks right now.
Yeah, he's giving them away, but Danny still loves them. Danny still loves collecting them.
Yeah, well, that's key.
You see the size? I gotta say one thing: the size of that Minnesota starting lineup. The smallest guy is gonna be like 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah, but go Bears.
It's gonna be like playing amongst skyscrapers.
Yeah, but go Bears on the back end of his career.
And they gave him. It's not just the picks. It was, the players they gave him. Beasley in there. Good players.
So give it to Danny. Trade to Danny, doing it again. I think Danny might be good for that part, but then Brad seems to be more equipped to handle a team at this maturity point.
Maybe an actual roster together instead of just time.
Yes.
I like to play these games that didn't happen. If Brad Stevens had been the general manager the last 5 years and not the coach, would we have won a championship already?
With Ime as the coach?
Yeah.
Well, look at that lineup we did have at one point there. Kyrie has turned out to be a poison pill wherever he goes. But that was a pretty stacked lineup that year.
Had Kyrie just not been as insane as any human being that's ever walked the planet, Kyrie, Jalen, and the 2 J's, that's as good.
Can I interject for a minute here? Kyrie Irving has given me more entertainment in the last month and a half than I have. I feel like sending him a paycheck because he has given me a month and a half's worth of entertainment.
Well, and we don't want to. When they trade him to the Lakers.
Yeah,
and the Nets have stuck with a stiff like Russell Westbrook, and the Lakers have stuck with a stiff like Kyrie.
But can we all agree that I don't want any more KD rumors coming to the Celtics?
No, I'm not buying any of that rubbish.
No way.
34 years old, a ton of money. I mean, I think, did the Celtics show how to shut KD down this year? Possibly. I remember when Belichick found out how to shut Drew Bledsoe down, you just throw bodies at him. You know what I mean?
But just about anyone you double team, you can take away.
Okay, I'll take KD, Grant Williams, Pritchard, and some first-round picks, and then I'll take them.
Oh yeah.
That's about all.
How about Jalen Brown?
They want the same thing that Minnesota gave up for Gobert. That's what their starting point in negotiations is. Right
they should have called Minnesota quicker than Danny did.
How about straight up Jalen Brown for KD?
No. I don't want anything about KD other than just give us for free.
Danny really has made a living off taking Minnesota to the cleaners. Remember, Kevin Garnett came from there too.
Yeah, that was a thank you, Kevin McHale deal. You know what I mean?
We'll give you 7 stiffs, and you give us 1 superstar.
And now Danny can spend. He's got the company credit card for the next 5 years and he can just
get him off the golf course.
Yeah, he'll be on the golf course and go. Just can't wait for my next first-round pick to pay off, guys.
Hey, you never know who's coming down the pike. And the Timberwolves are they lottery protected picks that he got?
No, I think they weren't.
Oh, I think only the very last one, the fourth one.
You know,
Danny let him have the top 5 protected.
yeah, so you can trade picks, I'll take picks if they're from, the 3 or 4 worst teams in the league. I'll take their first round pick. I mean, that's something that matters. You know what I mean? If you're getting,
you don't want Golden State.
no, you don't want gold. You don't want the Celtics. You don't want Miami's. Yeah, you don't want Miami's. You don't want Phillies. They're going to be low picks.
Well, this is exciting that we're talking about the NBA in July.
Yep.
I'll tell you, they've captured me lately. I've watched quite a bit now of NBA talk. They've piqued my interest.
Yep.
Well,
Saturday starts the Las Vegas Summer League. I'm sure those games are on.
Which, if you remember when the garbage time during those playoff games, that's the NBA Summer League.
Yeah.
And people get excited about that. That garbage time, I think Timmy said it a few weeks ago, that garbage time in the NBA playoffs was as bad a basketball as I've ever seen in my life. Terrible.
Well, nobody made a basket. Nobody. Nobody on either team. I don't know if the Celtics garbage time anyone has ever hit a basket.
It was like
they traded most of those guys away.
It was like the fourth graders at halftime at the Celtics game.
I mean, well, they just look at what I got to give Brad credit. I mean, Daniel Tice will be back on the team by December too. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
We gave away nothing. Nothing. I didn't even recognize half the names on the trade, and they were I didn't even know who they were.
No, they were just salary fillers. They had to match them up.
They just filled up the roster. They were the back 5 on a 15-man roster on the bench. They never played. Even in garbage time.
Speaking of the NBA, I'm kind of excited to see this. The kid who went second in the draft come in here, the big 7-foot kid. He set some record for most blocks in a summer league game already.
Oh, he had a huge game. They've already changed all the odds on Rookie of the Year because of the one game he just had in that summer league.
And he can dribble the ball like a guard, I heard, right?
Yes. He had like about 30 points, 15 rebounds, 15 assists, 6 blocks.
He looks like KD, a skinny KD.
So skinny, Joe. I can't see him laughing. He's skinnier than Henry Pickle.
Yeah, this guy is Chris Hales.
But you remember what Giannis looked like, when he was that age. He was
not this skinny.
I know. Well, Giannis.
Yeah, this is quite a bit older than he wasn't. He a 4-year player out there in Washington.
Yeah, the kid can play though. He definitely is going to, interesting. Look, the NBA is bringing in a lot of young, good players too. I mean, there's a lot of quality NBA players right now.
Yeah, you know what I like. I like that. I mean, Golden State. That's a homegrown team for the most part. I liked that it wasn't an accumulation like we saw Brooklyn going. I liked that they got eliminated right away. I liked that Philly didn't make it. With these superstars just gathering in a spot, kind of and winning it all. I like that. You really didn't see teams like that competing this year, So what it's saying to the world, I think, is we can build a team that, we don't necessarily have to go out and get a LeBron or a Kevin Durant or a James Harden, to win.
Well, pretty much the last 20 years, other than the last 2, have been dominated by LeBron.
Yeah.
So that's.
It's like Tiger when he was in his prime.
There's different ways to build a team. Look at Pat Riley down there in Miami. He won championships with LeBron, of course, Shaq. But he builds a team every year, just putting it together the hard way. He's always drafting. He's sort of a Bill Belichick. He's always drafted very high. He's always drafted in high.
But Shaq was pretty dominant in his day, and LeBron was at his peak also.
But that's the way Riley puts together teams. He's got Jimmy Butler now. Builds a team around him.
It's an attractive place for these players to go too. So.
And they played the Celtics practically to a draw.
Oh yeah.
All right, boys, we got to go to the Red Sox. It's an exciting night. I've been talking about Brian Bayo.
Wait, hold on. We just got a little text from Russell here asking if he wants to drop in.
Sure, I told him to come on. He's going to do live from Section 30.
Always welcome. He knows that.
We're going to do a live spot from Section 30. As everybody knows, we are in Section 30, our grandstand seats, row 6. Maybe some of our friends from the Boston Globe will be over there too. This will be very fun. But Brian Bayo is pitching tonight, and compared to Pedro Martinez, maybe you heard of him. This is an exciting night.
Well, I'm really excited to see him. He's been pitching lights out there in Worcester. Let's see if it works in the big leagues. You know, a lot of guys come up their first taste of big leagues, they get hobbled and sent back down. And they have to learn a different approach. I'd like to see him start out with a bang and keep it going.
Well, he's only going to be up for one start. They're just going to, this is a spot start. But
hey, if Rich Hill doesn't come back, and Nana Chrissy gets another owie, there might be a space for him.
Timmy, the last starter that had this much buzz for the Boston Red Sox, homegrown, can you even remember? Would it be John Lester?
That's a great question, Scotty.
Right?
Those lefties back in the 80s,
No, but 80s. I'm talking most recently, Joe.
So, let's get on the list. Clemens. There aren't many, right?
That's 70s.
But there aren't many. 80s. But there aren't many, really.
No, we have not. No. I mean, I would say Papelbon had a lot of buzz to him. Yeah. And he came up as a starter. Did he come up as a starter?
No, he came up as a reliever.
So I would say it's probably Lester that has had this much buzz. Erod didn't have this much buzz.
No.
Felix DeBrant did not, right?
DeBrant had no buzz, I mean.
So this is an exciting time. I mean, this is like the last 20 years that we haven't had this kind of moment.
It'd be nice if he pans out.
Absolutely, and financially to be able to have a starting pitcher that you homegrown.
So let's talk about the Red Sox.
Hold on, Timmy. Look, we got live. He's connecting from Section 30.
It's no Section 8. We're moving on up. We've gone from 8 to 30.
8 to 30. We're not in Boston Housing Authority. We're in HUD Housing now.
Exactly.
It's a step up. It's a step up.
Well, it's good to see you guys for a few minutes.
Good to see you, Russell.
I think this might be our first live drop-in.
Yes, ever.
What's the buzz over there at Fenway? We were saying, Russ, this is probably the most buzz for a homegrown starter since Lester.
I think that's right. And the fact that he's been working with Pedro, and that's where he got his change. There's definitely a little buzz. It's pretty early, and this place is I don't know, a third full, and there's definitely a little buzz out there. Nothing like a phenom in Fenway Park, right?
Is Pedro teaching him the changeup?
Pedro is teaching him the changeup.
I guess that's a canard. Someone else taught him the changeup, and then
Joe, you're raining on everybody's parade, Joe. Come on.
I know the story sounds better when Pedro does.
The hell, Joe?
Pedro has mentored him.
Now is this kid known for his changeup? What's
yeah, he's got four pitches, I think, right, Joe?
Well, Winkowski said he has 3 pitches that any pitcher would like to have one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Fastball, curveball, changeup, fastball, curveball, slider.
Fastball, cutter.
I think he's got 2 fastballs, a changeup, and either a curve or a slider.
Yeah. Look, if he pitches well tonight, I don't think he's going back down.
I think there's enough uncertainty. I think there's enough uncertainty in the rotation to keep him up for a while.
Yeah.
And Valdi are both out. When does Whitlock come back, Russ?
I think within the next few days, but they're sending them to the bullpen, which is exactly what they should do, right?
Yeah. Cora said that Whitlock, if he pitches 2 innings, will get 2 days off. If he pitches 3 innings, he'll get 3 days off. So he's really functioning as closer, middle reliever guy right now for the rest of the season. Kind of a piggyback thing when you're talking about Walker and Hill and guys like that.
Yeah, I think it's the right thing to do, right?
Yeah, and Walker is hurt now too. He got scratched from his last start, said he had a dead arm. So maybe if Bayo does well, he will stay up.
Hey,
Look-
so now is this going against Hines' plan once again? Like they screwed up last year and succeeded. Are they doing the same thing again this year?
I don't know. I think Bayo has kind of forced Heim's hand in some level that he's pitched so well in AAA, and at this point he's probably ready. And you have a spot tonight, and why not?
But
I mean,
Scotty,
one of the questions is, have we turned a corner organizationally in our ability to develop pitchers? Because it just seems like every one of these guys who comes up, Crawford, Winkowski, hopefully Bayo, is pitching well.
Yeah, but you're gonna, and it's kind of shopping them in some level, because you may a Crawford or a Seabold may end up going out the door for a middle reliever or a closer.
Yeah, because these guys, they're being very selective in where they bring them up and who they start them against. They're not starting them against Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees in the world. They're starting them against, the Seattle or Oaklands of the world.
But of these arms, Russ, who's a keeper? Who's a clear keeper? I know
I think this guy tonight is top of the rotation stuff. I mean, you're going to let this guy fail 5 times over before you do anything with him, right? You're going to give him a lot of chances. He's very young too.
I think Winkowski's a keeper too. I think they love his makeup. I think this guy, like I text you guys, I think he's John Lackey.
I tell you one thing, I get whatever you can for Crawford. That guy just looks like sell high. Like, just have him string 3 more appearances together. Plus, he's not vaccinated, so he's going to be useless if he doesn't get vaccinated. So why not?
But remember, guys, Pivetta, Seabold, Winkowski, all acquired in the last year or two. Young arms that already are showing the depth that the Red Sox have in the organization.
Wait, so who's the guy we just got rid of, Scotty? You were raving about.
Oh, thank God, the Robles era is over. He actually pitched really well last year, guys. We have to give him his props, right?
He did down the stretch. I have to give it to him. And I didn't think he'd be any good, but this year he proved me right.
So what they end up doing with him?
They just cut him.
They paid him.
Yeah.
Mostly because he stinks, or because of his attitude, or
no, he stinks. Russ,
He
kind
stinks.
of back to the baseball card stuff, right, Russ?
Water finds its own level eventually, guys.
Yeah.
Now, are we really angry about the vaccination thing right now? I mean, because what did he cost us? 2 wins while he was.
Yeah.
You know.
Duran said I guess Duran got vaccinated.
Or he said he was going to take care of it.
So I assume he already got vaccinated. Tanner Houck has not said that. I think that Houck goes.
I think that could be ammunition to get rid of him. I mean, if he's not going, you're going to need him, and if he's not going to be around to do it, he's got to go. I mean, he's a very talented guy.
Totally right.
But if you're not there, you're not helping.
Yeah. Trade him to the National League. They don't have to go to Toronto. We got to go to Toronto at least 10 times, maybe in the playoffs too. You can't have that.
And you can probably get something pretty good for him, I'm guessing.
You would hope so, right?
Sure could. He could be a starter, a long reliever, or a closer. I mean, that's the kind of guy who should bring you back a really good relief pitcher at a minimum.
I can't believe this guy just won't take a shot in the arm. It's crazy.
All right, the Bobby Dahlbeck era. Seriously, I cannot remember, even when we were rebuilding those bad teams, keeping a player at first base who's played this poorly for this long.
I've got it for you. You're a Nationals fan, right, Scott?
Yeah.
How about that Josh Bell?
Yeah.
His contract's up at the end of the year. He'd be a rental, but he's hitting 315 with like 15 homers, 50 RBIs.
Fine, we'll give him Bobby Dahlbeck for him.
No, that's what you might get for Tanner Hope.
Tanner Hope.
That's all
Give
your
him
first
Dahlbeck
baseman.
and Hope. Yeah, give him Dahlbeck and Hope.
Yeah.
Today,
First
Simon.
base problem.
I'll
But
buy
can
the
you-
tickets.
Please explain to me why they continue. First of all, why wouldn't you send Bobby Dahlbeck down if you cared about his future in any way?
The guy is dying. We saw him die at the end of last year in the playoffs. He was the most useless guy on that roster in the playoffs. He would get up to bat, and I would just say automatic out. He hits AAA pitching. Once it gets above that level, he's useless.
But how did he last this long in July 6th on the Red
He's
Sox?
got to have pictures of somebody in a compromised position.
I
or
think
something.
the organization has him confused with Brian Dahlbach, and they don't know what to do with him.
Russ, he's no Brian Dahlbeck. Just so you know.
When you say someone's no Brian Dahlbach, and it's actually praise for Brian Dahlbach, you got a big problem on your hands.
Yes, you do.
He's arguably the worst starting first baseman that the Red Sox have ever had in our lifetime.
Think of all
No
the
great shakes defensively either.
think of all the great hitters out there that just can't field, right? That play first base. We can't do better than this. Come on, man. There's got to be 10 guys in the Cape Cod League who can hit better than him.
Look, part of the problem is, I'm not making excuses, Tristan Cases got hurt. He's had an ankle injury. It's been lengthy, the time on the DL. Had he continued to be healthy and developed, I think he'd already be up.
You know what time it is? It's Mitchie two bags.
Yeah.
Mitchie Morley, bring him back.
Well, they
One
gotta
more
get
time.
the Schwarber. They gotta get the Schwarber this year. Oh, that's another thing. Bell is a switch hitter. So you wouldn't even have to platoon him.
Yeah.
He'd be your Schwarber this year, right?
I don't see them giving up Houck for a rental. I think that would be a bad move. I mean, I think Houck is a pretty big
They
prospect.
might want to sign him if he work out.
I think they just, they're all placeholders for cases, right?
Maybe. Well, let's see how Cases develops down there before you put him up here and on his way to the Hall of Fame.
Now, look, I predicted. Now, let's remember everybody's predictions. I'm obviously a little short right now. Halfway through the season,
Some people only remember their correct predictions.
45 and 36. I don't know who you're talking about. 45 and 36, which means that's 90 games. Russ, what was your prediction?
I think I was right around there, guys. I think I'm probably the most on target at this point.
Okay.
I think Russ and I were in the high 80s, like 87, 89.
What were you, Timmy?
I was low.
Oh, yeah, he was under 500, I think.
I was
I
actually,
don't know if I was that bad.
actually, I did 90. What I do, 96,
97.
97. So I was actually almost there until this stretch in July.
Well, yeah, they were playing, the Little Sisters of the Poor there for a good stretch.
But despite how it's
Don't
played out,
bring reality into the equation, Joe. Scott doesn't
despite how
like
it's
that.
played out, 90 win season would actually be very good for this team.
It'd make the playoffs, I'm sure, too. There's a lot of bad teams in that American League. Real bad.
So what grade would you give them, Timmy? What grade would you give the Red Sox at halfway?
Oh, I got to give coming out of the playoffs last year, I wasn't so as excited to start a season in a long time. Then we made the massive failure in right field and first base. So that diminished my excitement quite a bit. And
So what grade?
kind of
would you
who they went out and replaced them with. So I had and then they started poorly. So I got to say with this nice little comeback that they've here now, I'll give them a B-.
B-. Joe?
Probably more the gentleman's B. Cora does a good job with what's given to him. He makes the most of a roster that really has a lot of holes. And I'll give him a gentleman's B, which would be between a B and a B plus.
Russ.
I'm with Timmy. I give him a B minus. And if they can beat some good teams over the next month in the AL East, I'm more than happy to get him up to a B plus or an A minus.
I give him a B plus, guys. I actually give Chaim Bloom in the construction of this current roster a D. I don't think think he gave Alex Cora a hell of a lot. The weaknesses, the non-production in first base and in right field has been just glaring. And Verdugo has picked it up, but for most of the season, Verdugo did absolutely nothing. I think it's pretty remarkable that at this point that they're at a 90-win pace. I give Alex Cora an A plus. And I don't like.
Oh, that's got to be tough. That's got to be tough.
Somebody needs to get Scotty to pee in a cup, because I think I just heard him say I give Alex Cora an A plus.
I think he's done a hell of a job. He really is.
What makes me mad is Hein. We had a good team last year at the end of the year, and he had a chance to improve it, and he diminished it instead.
Yeah,
that's what upsets me.
Yeah, and it would have been very easy to improve it too.
Yeah. All right, when we talk about upsetting, what's more upsetting? Not signing Carl Schwarber or the Hunter Renfroe Bradley fiasco deal? What is more glaring?
Well, anything with the name Jackie Bradley Jr. in it has to win out. Correct?
Yeah, that was crazy for two crappy prospects.
No. That they're not. This Pinellas kid is a legit prospect. So he's not and Hamilton sounds like he's just going to be a fast utility guy. But Pinellas is the real deal. But like I said before, Pinellas' ceiling in the major leagues is Hunter Renfroe. Yeah. And you could have already had him.
Jackie Bradley Jr. I will never understand the philosophy behind it. Never, ever.
Yep, and then to do
that, twice as much for it too.
And like Joe, you talked about, do it at the deadline before the stoppage, when all of a sudden they were going to make DH, universal, and you would have increased Hunter Renfroe's value, was just a misstep. Miscalculation.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. Hey, listen, guys, I'm gonna actually get back to say hello, my beautiful daughter.
I noticed Derek behind you.
And here's a quick look at the park.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. And I'm gonna sign off. Great to see you.
All right, good to see us.
Go Sox.
Go Sox.
All right.
Hopefully this will be a legendary night. Russell will be at the first game that this future Hall of Famer ever pitched at Fenway Park.
That's what I just told Coco on the way in. I'm like, this could be a big game. So, all right, bye.
Like Billy Raw.
Yeah.
That would be fun. That would be fun, right? I was with Lucas.
July 4th, wasn't it? That was right around this time of year.
I wasn't even born.
You weren't even born?
No, I was 1 year old. 1 year old. That was 67, right?
No, it was like 69. It was after.
Oh, okay. But I was there with Lucas for the Clay Buchholz no hitter. And what was that? His second start?
Oh, there you go. Here's the guy that. Biggest to do coming up. Buchholz ballyhooed, and he had a no hitter early on in his career too.
Yeah, Buchholz had a lot of buzz. You're right. Okay, at least that came out of me. But that's still
came out of nowhere. We'd forgotten that hillbilly.
Yeah, right.
Hey, one thing about Buchholz, he had some smoking hot girlfriends. I will say.
Oh yeah, that's what.
His wife was
they called him Playboy.
Playboy Playmate.
He was hanging around the BU dorms, I guess, nightly.
And he was about the ugliest, stupidest person.
He had that greasy hair hanging down. I remember seeing pictures of him in the BU dorms.
He must have been hung like some freakish alien.
Like a Tim Hoey,
Yeah, I was just I wouldn't know, but what I've been told. All right, we go to the Patriots. How excited are you guys? Mac Jones, I saw pictures this week. It's all buffed.
No more
like
moves. The moves are gone.
The boobs, the man boobs are gone for now.
He's not wearing the man's ear anymore under the shoulder pads.
But it makes a difference. It clearly makes a difference when a guy gets in shape. We saw it with Brady.
I'm just a little worried, Scotty, that they didn't do too much to bolster that roster.
Defensively.
Yeah.
The speed.
90% of the money's on the offensive side.
What worries me is that last performance that we saw out of that team was pretty horrendous, and it was trending downward, and that was the culmination of that trend. And if it's basically the same team going out there again, I have my worries.
Yeah, I don't see. Right, there isn't one acquisition defensively that I'm excited about.
They had a third-round pick in that Jones kid. That's about all they've added.
Right.
Yeah.
But they needed more of a pass rush. They didn't address that at all.
I mean, we get some guys coming back from injury, right? Who are supposed to be pretty good players.
Well, they wanted to develop Jones, and so they committed to it, and they put all the money around him to develop him. And then I guess maybe next year they'll work on the defense.
And we get that linebacker who was out all year last year. He's supposed to be pretty good, right?
Millen, but we lost an All-Pro in J.C. Jackson, and this team couldn't afford to lose All-Pros.
It seems like our defensive backs are just going to be a year slower. I mean,
the jury's out. I know sounds crazy, and you'll probably give me a look, but the jury's out on Matthew Judon. The second half of the season, he was invisible. I don't know what we're going to get anymore.
You wonder if he was
just accounted for him. They knew that he was the only guy you needed to account for. They took care of him. Took him out of the game.
Did we see Hightower back in the starting lineup again this year?
He's still not even signed him. It doesn't sound like they've even offered him a contract.
Yeah, I can't believe
is it time for him to hang it up, or do they end up cutting him?
He's a free agent. No one's offered him anything.
He'll get some team, if they have linebacker injuries, will pick him up.
Oh, the Patriots will pick him up, I think, but he would have to take a huge pay cut. And they'll just bring him back just for his locker room presence and, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Hey, how about breaking news from the Grandstanders live desk? Baker Mayfield traded today from the Browns to the Panthers. Forget this, boys. A conditional 5th-round pick.
Wow. Now, what was he getting paid? Was that
too much? That's why you didn't get anything for him.
Yeah. He comes with the big hefty bag of money.
It was supposed to be a 1st-round pick, but then Carolina wanted the Browns to pick up half the salary. So if the Browns wanted Carolina to pick up the whole salary, it had to be a 5th-round pick.
That just shows you.
I don't think he's that bad of a quarterback. I don't know why he's
I don't think he's that good though either.
I don't know why he's getting all this terrible pub. I mean, the guy's done nothing in my eyes for all this negativity. I don't know.
He came in with such hype, Timmy. First pick.
Oh, and he's got that very cocky attitude. And he doesn't, he talks the talk, but he doesn't walk the walk. He doesn't back it up.
Yeah. And look, he does more commercials than Peyton Manning right now.
Yeah. I have a winning record anyways to do that stuff.
But look, there were lots of rumors that Bill Belichick was willing to give up the house to get Mayfield before that draft. I'm sure glad he didn't pull the trigger.
It shows you Belichick's talent evaluation skills right there.
Yeah, look. Mac Jones was not Belichick's first choice. He fell to him.
Belichick had a gun to his head to pick Mac Jones.
He fell to him. He didn't even trade up one pick.
Not one pick. Nothing.
Well, he knew he didn't need to. None of those 4 teams in front were going to be picking a quarterback. They all had their quarterback.
Yeah, but Joe, they could have traded with another team that wanted a quarterback.
Yeah.
But it seemed like everyone remembered how many. Were there 5 quarterbacks taken in front of him?
Yeah, right.
So all the teams that needed a quarterback had already traded up in front of them.
Yeah, it almost hurt Mac Jones to have all those weapons at Alabama because a lot of people had the view that they inflated his numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah, and anyone could have done that.
Yeah.
Who in defense is going to have to step up to make this defense a legitimate top 15 defense?
I think Judon has to play like he did the first half of the year.
How about a big step up for Christian Barmore?
Well, he already. I mean,
Maybe playing 3 downs instead of 1 or 2 per series, you know?
So you're looking. You need him to be Aaron Donald.
Yeah, I wanted to play on running downs too.
Joe, where do you put Barmore's ceiling at?
Not Aaron Donald, but I think it's higher than he looked good last year for a rookie. You know, it's tough being a defensive tackle in the NFL and showing some promise. You know, you get close, you're getting double teamed in almost every play.
Is he Richard Seymour?
No. Richard Seymour was a Hall of Famer.
I know. Well, you know, it's got to be the next coming Hall of Famers. I mean,
I hope he develops into
I like Barmore. I think we're going to see good stuff out of him.
Look, they didn't get a tackling machine like I wanted. I wanted a linebacker.
You want a middle linebacker
that could play sideline to sideline.
Zach Thomas type. Guy was getting 10 to 15 tackles a game. Who has like 200 tackles by the end of the season. Bentley never became that guy.
No.
Too slow.
Yeah.
And I
don't see a big uptick on the speed, you know, on the defensive side of the ball. We got that fast guy as a receiver. God knows if he can even catch the ball.
Well, I think, you know, McGrone, young, of course, unproven, untried, but faster. Uche, young, faster. Raekwon McMillan, faster. Judon will be coming back. I think there'll be a lot more speed linebacker. Whether they're any good is another thing.
Yeah.
3 of the guys we've never even seen play really, other than Uche a little.
I had such promise for Uche, but he's a dog.
He's small. What's he, 235 pounds? He's small. He's more of a coverage linebacker than of a banger. You want a middle linebacker, a big guy that they funnel the runner into when he makes all the tackles. Right Mayo.
Look, they wanted somebody on the edge. They picked in the same draft, Winovich and Uche, right? In the same draft, and both of them were fails. They wanted a tight end. They took Asiasi and Dalton Keene in the same draft. Both failed. This is where you can't address these positions with 2 draft picks. That's where you become a losing team.
Yeah, I mean, we had a great draft last year, though. So let's hopefully this year lives up to last year. I highly doubt it, but.
Well, I'm excited, boys. Training camp is in just a few weeks, right?
End of July is rookie camp.
Oh, my God, Red Sox better continue to play well.
Well, the Red Sox got a tough stretch here with the Rays, Toronto, and the Yankees.
You know what's gonna bring me? It's gonna bring me so much joy when the Yankees don't win the World Series.
It could be Yankees-Mets World Series again.
The Yankees look like a wagon right now, though.
They certainly do. So what's even better, Joe, that the New York fans' expectations are being built up, just to be crushed by this lowly Red Sox team in a playoff.
Like the Red Sox beating them in 18, remember? And after they took the lead in the series here at Fenway, just going out into the streets in New York.
Yeah.
They come up with some
the wild card game. They were a better team than us, it seemed. But,
that was a great game.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, we end with the Bruins. The Bruins have a head coach that we weren't thinking about. What was his name? Armstrong?
Yeah. Stretch.
So what do you think? Timmy, our hockey expert, do you know this guy?
Well, I know he got fired from Dallas for alcohol issues.
Yeah.
And he seems to have straightened his act out. So I'm on his team from that side. If he was a good coach and he was a drunk, take the booze out of him. I think he has potential to be a very good coach. He seems to have done well wherever he's been.
Circle December 5th on your calendar. That's the day that Cassidy and the Las Vegas Knights come back to
It
town.
looks like they're going to clean house with the Bruins this year. I expect a lot of lineup change.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Russ is not here, but the rumor is David Krejci is going to be back with the Bruins.
Really?
He's a stiff. He was a stiff 2 years ago. No one
But-
we ran him out of town.
No, but when we put that, what's his name, 81 there with him, he came alive again.
Hall.
Yeah.
Hall, yeah, we put Hall with them. I'd like to see those two on a line together again.
Well,
They seem to click pretty well together.
The idea is that Pasternak would be easier to sign with another check like Krejci
That's his
in
buddy.
the building.
Yeah, that's his buddy. And Neely said they're going to sign. They think they're confident they're going to.
I would sign him, make him an assistant coach. Give him to the
No, has anybody heard anything on Bergeron?
Bergeron is going to come back.
Yeah.
It's believed, as long as he's healthy enough.
Yeah, he's probably under no illusions that they're going to win anything next year.
Is Bergeron what's he getting a lung
Right.
transplant? Is he having a lung transplant and a liver transplant this summer? Or
I know.
he'll be back. He'll be back for the camp though. You know what I mean?
McAvoy and Marchand won't be, but he will be.
Oh my God! And all right, I'm going to throw a rumor out. I don't know how they do it cap wise. Johnny Gaudreau,
Oh, I'd love to see it.
free agent.
Really?
Apparently, Calgary's offered him all the money in the world, but he doesn't know if he wants to be there anymore. He's a Boston guy, right?
Well, he's a New Jersey kid originally, but he played at BC.
You think? Huge.
Do they have the money to do it? They've already got Marchand, they re-signed him, Bergeron, Pasternak, McAvoy.
That'd be a Jara-like move, right?
Yeah, that would be the Jacobs like their money too much. I don't see them dropping. They know us lemmings are just going to fill the garden really, no matter what they put out there. So why spend the money?
I don't know. I would love that. Would be.
Oh, I would love to see that, Scotty.
Right?
You made Tim's day.
I mean,
Right?
they have to get more guys who can put the puck in the net. They have Pasta, they have Marchand who's going to be out for a while. That's going to hurt a lot. Bergeron's getting older. Hall doesn't see. I mean, he's a good player. He doesn't seem to be that guy, though. I mean, those guys who can put the puck in the net, they're bars of gold. And
Johnny G.
He's one of them.
Puts you back in the headlines, and he sells
does.
a lot of luxury box seats.
And well, they sell them anyway, Scotty. That's the crazy thing about the Bruins. They just every game is just banged out.
But Timmy, Joe has talked about it before. Their season ticket base went down considerably to what, 4,000?
Is it
years ago? Before?
No, back in like 10.
That's when I walked away too.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it can't happen.
There was a point there where the Jacobs just bled this city dry, and people said no more. And then they realized that they finally went out and spent some money.
Yeah. All right, boys, that's our show for tonight. Want to thank everyone behind the scenes, of course, Ian, for all his great work. Please check us out on Spotify. You have got to sign up for Spotify to the Grandstanders, and you can listen to our show every week. Tell your friends. Ian, who's not a huge sports fan, loves sports talk. We can be background noise. You can you maybe get Uncle Joe's voice as a GPS. There's just many things, but you got to sign up for Spotify. Everybody's doing it. The Grandstanders. We've already become a big hit. Of course, we've been doing the show for 8 years, so it's not a surprise. Want to thank the fellas. Please, again, check us out on Spotify. Sign up, and we'll be back next week, Wednesday, 6:30, same time, same bad channel. Have a good night.